7 Cents Phonecast. Find out about us before you find out about you.
And Psyche, this is Journey at extension 697. How can I help you?
Hello, Journey. It's Joanne. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm good. I have a question for you. My real estate agent called me up just a little while ago and told me that, well, why don't you just go ahead and buy your daughter a condo on the north side of Chicago, and then you can rent it if she chooses not to, live there. And I'm like, my daughter doesn't really want to be on the north side because it's inconvenient for her. And the south end of the loop is it is dicey. It is, but you have to be very, there are certain parts of it that you're okay. You just have to be very mindful of your surroundings, like any place else. And, I know Kevin means well, and he's like, oh, well, you'll just pay cash for it, and you'll go ahead and do that, and she can pay for the assessment and all the extras, even working at Starbucks if necessary. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think my daughter would go for this, but what do you see?
Why wouldn't she go for it?
It's on the north side of town. So it would be quite a trek for her to go from one end to the other for school.
Okay, and yeah, that I understand. Well, how far would she be from school? I mean,
for her, it would be, she'd have to be up, like at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to a 8 a.m. class.
What about the same concept, but finding a place closer to where she'll be going to school?
It would be for rent, because he was telling me, he says that, well, the rents have skyrocketed, which they have.
Well, yeah.
I'm not, they have. I know, I understand where he is coming from.
What about buying something closer to where school is, though? That's my question.
Well, that's the problem, because the area leaves something else to be desired. That's why I know he means well. I don't want to buy something and then get stuck renting it and being responsible. I'm sitting on the fence with this, and I get the feeling that, he's thinking, oh, well, Joanne has the money. Why don't we ask her to do this? She won't care. It'll be fine.
Now, wait a minute. And if he's selling it to you, knowing that you have the money, then he's going to be making money off of it too. Here's my thought on it. First of all, this is not comfortable for you. I can already pick that up in your energy. And you explained everything to me so I can understand. But what the guides are telling me is this is more for his benefit than it is for you
right.
or for Connie. So,
yep, thank you. Thank you.
That's why, because he's looking here to make some money. Right.
That's what I thought, too. Because it's like, okay, he would sell it to me, so of course he's going to be making money. I was hesitating with him, and he goes, well, when in doubt, do nothing. And he says, oh, just a thought. If my daughter was more sure-footed, if she was already working, and she knew what she wanted, I might do that for her and get her started. I would have done it. But being that she doesn't have a clue, it's much better to at least rent, even though I'm gonna be paying up the wazoo. I know that. It's a lot better to do that than for me to, put down so much money and then, who's it benefiting?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, all of those, the rents now for a one bedroom are $2 to $22 per month. So I'm aware it isn't something that I, didn't know. And I happen to be blessed that I can afford that. at the moment.
Yeah, but you do know a lot about this, Joanne. I can tell by the way you explain things to me. You know exactly what you're dealing with. You know the real estate. You may not know it all, but you know a heck of a lot about it to know which ones to stay away from or where to live or not to live. You know a lot about this, so you got to trust your own instincts. Yes.
Right. Okay.
When you run into something, this or any other thing, and your first response intuitively inside of you is, no, I don't think that's going to work. Don't try to keep analyzing it or listening to the guides or whatever, because your instinct in most cases is always going to be right. Now, we're talking about this today. Say in a month or so, things shift or change, and you change your mind and decide to buy because maybe things have shifted. Then you can go with what you feel or think then. But for the time being, with this feeling that you got as soon as you did, you got to follow that first. You really do.
Well, anyway, all righty. I am going to let you go, and thank you very much. All righty.
You're very welcome. Just let me know. You take care now, okay?
I will. You take care, too.
Hopefully going to class tonight will help you unwind from all of this.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this 7th Sense Phonecast. Our gifted professionals are able to break through the confusion and point you in the right direction. Go to www.seventhsensepsychics.com. We all have a path in life. Let us help you find yours.